Beau Obama receives visiting dignitaries from Uruguay. The nation would not be surprised at this point if Chris Brown allegedly traveled back in time and punched Anne Frank. And a local burger feels especially disgusting today. Here she comes, graceful, polite, and blessed with the unforgettable smile of a beautiful Southern belle. This is the Onion Week in Review. New immigration reform discussed this week in Congress would require immigrants to bring along 2 or 3 different ideas for fixing the U.S. economy before being allowed to enter. According to members of Congress sponsoring the bill, the law would make it illegal for outsiders to reside in the United States unless they've brainstormed at least a few solid ideas for kickstarting economic growth and spurring job creation. The Department of the Interior announced this week it was swindled out of $18 million in funding from a fast-talking con-gopher. Officials say the slick rodent pleaded with them to write numerous checks over the span of a year, saying that the money would go towards his homeless family and starving gopher friends.
We should have known the whole thing was a setup when we went back to see how his gopher mound was coming along, and no one was there. The little bastard's probably on a flight to Aruba by now. He really had us going with those tears.
On a first date with area woman Pauline Geary earlier this week, smitten local man Brad Holtman told reporters he could not believe she was also a fan of the 1960s rock group The Beatles. Holtman told reporters that not only did Geary happen to own several of the band's albums that he also owned, but they apparently even enjoyed listening to many of the same Beatles songs.
We were just talking about music, and she mentioned that she liked the Beatles, which is crazy because I love the Beatles, actually. Get this, she said she loves Abbey Road. Here Comes the Sun is one of my favorite songs. And she said she even listens to Let It Be when she's stressed out. Just like I do.
Following the conclusion of yet another week marked by a seemingly endless catalog of tedious and unavoidable realities, the nation came to the overwhelming conclusion that it would have to go through it, all of it, again next week. Americans across the nation shuddered today at the thought of yet another week filled with office meetings, public transportation, petty arguments, Twitter, poverty, web videos, advertising, and cultural decay, among the other soul-crushing aspects of every moment of waking life. In other news, a paranoid Syrian man thinks the government is out to get him. Local parents finally tell their 2-year-old about 9/11, and this teenage girl is blossoming into a beautiful object. That was what happened this week, barring any unforeseen meddling in the space-time continuum. For more news, visit theonion.com.